The newest weapon in Minecraft, the spear, is supposed to be the strongest weapon in the entire game, dealing more damage the faster you go. And it has two attacks. The charge attack, where when you're going faster you deal more damage, and the jab attack, which has even longer reach. So today, I'm going to be using the spear for the first time ever. I've never used the spear before, so I don't really know what to expect, but I'm excited. On my last video, I tried using the mace, specifically the windburst mace. Now the mace is like a horizontal spear. The farther you fall, the more damage you do. The spear, the faster you go running, the more damage you do. So today, I'm going to be attempting to not only use the spear, but see if it's better than the mace. Because I'm not sure, the mace is pretty powerful. We're going to split this video into 3 sections. First, I'm just going to learn both of the attacks, because I don't really know how they work. Second, I'm going to try to use it in a survival world. And third, I'm going to try to use some of the more advanced techniques, like using an Elytra and a boat on ice, to see if the spear is truly better than the mace. Let's get started. I first just kind of want to test out the spear in creative and see how it works. So I'm first just going to get like a netherite one maybe. Maybe we'll try it versus wooden, see the differences. The netherite spear is slower. It is slower. It does a little bit more damage compared to like a diamond sword though. But that's because you charge with the spear. I know also the wooden spear lasts longer. If you see, now it starts to wobble. For this one, it starts like shaking really quickly. So I first just kind of want to try it on like a slime. Ooh, okay. How much does it do to one of these bigger slimes? You can chain them. Ooh, that's kind of cool. That's really cool how you can chain multiple in a row. That's really useful actually. If we put multiple villagers in a row. Oh, wait. Watch. It's like sweeping edge. You can do multiple in a row. You have a really long reach. Like this is like really long reach. Alright, let's see how long. Oh, I'm in creative mode. That is really long reach. Oh wow. Very interesting. Now, I know these things are really good with an Elytra, so I do want to try that as well in creative mode. Okay. Can you do the large slimes with a wooden spear? I think that was 2, right? So 3. So this is a pretty good source of damage, or the game it looks like. Especially versus like the sword. That's pretty close. I want to try it with an Elytra. How do you make it so you can use the Elytra in creative mode? These things have 50 hearts, so I kind of want to see, can you one-hit the giant? Three hits for 50 hearts is pretty crazy. That's actually pretty crazy. I do think it's a little hard to aim, but I think that's just would come with practice, yeah. With a wooden spear, 4 hits. Not the best, but pretty good. If you're ever also like worried about getting hit by the iron golem and so you stacked up, but then you like accidentally went up too high, you still could hit him with the spear. I don't think you can do a critical hit with the spear. I wonder if you can use it like a vertical mace. Alright, I want to see real quick if you tried to use the spear as a vertical mace, how far you would have to fall. So this is an iron spear, which I feel like is like kind of realistic early game. And the thing with the mace is that you have to aim because you have to time your hit. Or with the spear, you take damage no matter what, but it automatically hits. So you know you're like guaranteeing yourself the damage. Okay, from that high, which is like a bunch of blocks, it was like 3 hits, which isn't great, but I could see this vertical spearing being like a good way of doing damage. What I meant by vertical spearing is something like how Dream did right here, where you land in water at the bottom. Credit to Dream. Alright, that was like 13 hits maybe. So the spear seems good, but not iron golem damage level good. So I feel like this is like a reasonable mob that you would probably test it on if you were maybe above a creeper in a cave. That was 2. Oh, and you can't, it seems like hit from too close. Like I'm standing like within a block. You hear that? It's not working. And so it seems like you have to be with like a certain distance away for the spear to work as well. It is just iron, so maybe with like diamond it would be different, but okay. 14 blocks. Now I guess the plus side to this is if you did have like a group of creepers, like a creeping of them, you could do damage to... Oh. Looks like you have to do it like this, maybe? So even though you can get the spear, like an iron one or a stone one, very quickly, I don't know if it's necessarily the best early game. I got a skeleton real quick. If you were just sprint jumping at something, that was 1, 2, 3. You could line up 2 of them in a row, but still you have to do 3 hits, which I don't know if that's like amazing early game. I feel like a stone axe could be a better, especially in like a closer area. But late game, if you have like an enchanted diamond or netherite spear, I think it definitely could be a good source of damage. Let's use what we've just learned here and go try it out in a survival world. Maybe we'll compare it to like the stone axe and see if the spear is actually that much better than the stone axe early game. I know it has a longer reach, like creative mode, so that should hopefully help as well, but we'll see. I also got a new microphone arm, so hopefully the video sounds a little better than the last video. And a stone spear. This is kind of not the best biome, so... Oh. Maybe we can try it in this cave? Yeah, I think we're good to go down. There's a lot of mobs in here. Copper. Maybe we can get a copper spear. This is the first mob we're gonna try the spear on. You definitely have a longer reach, which is good. Okay, well. How do you have such good aim? I feel like these things don't even do that much damage. I kind of need food. before I keep going, because, well, that didn't go very well. I'm going to the Lush Cave. There shouldn't hopefully be too many mobs down here. Oh, I hear a skeleton. Can you? Oh, you can hit through this. Oh, there's a cave. How did you do this? What are these spawns? There should hopefully be like a savanna or something around here where I can get food and geared up before I go in a cave. Hello. I see a jungle. There'll be melons in there, which is at least something. Alright, hopefully that's enough wood. There's a bunch of stone here. Alright, let's go hopefully get a little bit of food, and then we can try using this spear in a cave. Chickens. Wait, can I kill a chicken in one hit with this thing? Oh, you can! Can you in this format? Can you with this attack? How? Okay. You see this? How am I missing? What? Yeah, if you're sprint jumping, you can hit him in one hit with the spear. Alright, let's see how much damage you do falling with the spear. Ooh, that's pretty good. I didn't want to say this, the spear might be better than the mace. While that cooks, I also want to try to get a copper spear real quick. Maybe a little bit of armor since there's a lot of copper here. And we can upgrade to a copper spear. Okay, I think they do the same damage, just this one's slightly faster. I think that's the only difference between these. Still not as much damage as the stone axe yet. Make ourselves a pickaxe. Kinda matches my skin, actually. We need one more copper for a helmet, so... nice. Full armor. Now, since we don't have a bed and it's becoming nighttime, I kinda wanna go into a cave and test out the spear. We can just use the best Minecraft strategy. Addiction. This is what they don't show you in YouTube videos. Oh, there should be a cave right around here. What? A cave? What are the chances? Diamonds? I actually didn't see that. Oh, I'm gonna drown. Alright, we can grab ourselves a little bit of iron up here. We can cook up our iron. Go get those diamonds. Make an iron pickaxe. Now we can make a diamond spear. Wow. Alright, let's dig down. Hopefully find a cave. Here we go. Oh my. Here, wait. Ooh, we'll never. I think we kind of need to use the spear running. I'm gonna wait for another skeleton to spawn. There we go. And why isn't it? Oh, there we go. Okay, wait, we need to not die. Not even close. Here, wait, we can just like hit you. I'm out of food. What do I do? Wait, there was bread in one of these chests. I remember that. There was bread in one of the chests. Okay, it's the other chest. Oh, there it is. There's the chest. Okay, only one bread. some wheat. Oh, okay, maybe there's bread in here. This longer reach is actually helping me reach through the wall. There's nothing else I can eat in here. Rotten flesh, do I have any? I don't. Okay, we need to kill a zombie. Okay, if we can find a zombie, I can eat the rotten flesh to regenerate a little bit. But we have to fight the zombie. With the spear, it's gonna be easier, especially the diamond spear. But if there's a skeleton, I just heard one. Oh. Wait, did he drop rotten flesh? I don't see any. Wait, I have a... Okay, well, regeneration definitely is gonna help. Especially, oh no. Why didn't I make a shield? Okay, we need to make a shield. So I start by crafting a shield real quick. I get into a fight with a zombie and get down to half a heart because there's a skeleton. And then I just started digging up. I didn't realize, but you can't use a shield when you have a spear because then you just like start charging. I was in a jungle, so I got melons, and then right here I'm just trying to practice the spear with like zombies that I found in an open area. I used kelp for food because I didn't really have anything else. I learned you can spear underwater, which is pretty cool. That's what I was doing there. I found a ruined portal, and so I found some pretty good stuff there that I could use later on. Got a little bit of obsidian in case. Here, I realized that you can use knockback from the spear on a boat, so I was just trying to figure out if there was any like cool things you could do with that. I found an azalea tree. If you didn't know, underneath those, there's always going to be a lush cave, so I dug down to try to find a lush cave, and I found it. Here, again, you can see that the shield doesn't work if you have the spear out because you just start doing the charge attack. Tried to knock back the creeper and it didn't really work there. Creeper fell from the ceiling here, but I switched to the axe so that I can use the shield. Right here I found a lava pool, so I'm building a speed portal, and this spawn is actually pretty crazy. I used wood to light the portal. And as you can see, there's a fortress. The seed's on the screen right now, so if you want to play on this world, you can. And then right here, I start to build a box just so that piglins don't get mad at me for mining the gold. And then I make gold boots so that I don't take damage from piglins. There's a fortress right out here. Like, what? Alright, so as you guys remember, it ended off in the nether without audio, so... It's like a day or two later. Let's get started. I have gold, right? Do I have gold? Yes. I think we should try to go to the fortress, use our nice diamond spear in the fortress, see how it goes. Here we are, terrible fortress. We can try it on like skeletons and stuff too. Oh, I forgot we need shield. How am I supposed to spear these dudes? I'm just knocking them back into the void, right? I can't hit them. Okay, we need to find a spawner, I think, in order to use this spear. Oh my god. Magma cream one? Oh, this is just the end. That was... How am I alive? How am I alive? cornered, I'm cornered. I'm like... That's just more blazes. I can't eat, I'm done. Well, I think I'm just using the spear, not the best. And I had no fire resistance, so that, of course, didn't help. Alright, so after that survival world went so well, now it's time to try some of the more advanced techniques with the spear. Like using Lunge, launching TNT, using an ice boat, and lastly, using an Elytra. To see how powerful the spear actually is. I want to see if Knockback with the charge attack does more knockback than without the Knockback enchantment. So if we just have a regular spear, I think it only got knockback like 2 or 3 blocks. Oh, it definitely gets knocked back a lot farther than without knockback. Because I didn't know if it was just with this attack that it got knocked back farther. But it's definitely with the charge attack as well. Good to know. Now, I also want to test with Lunge. I've never really used the Lunge enchantment before, so I want to see how it works, how far you go, the best way to use it. So without jumping or moving, it moves you about 2 blocks. Okay. What about with sprinting? Okay. Okay, that's like 4 blocks. Sprint jumping. Oh, it's a lot farther. Okay, so sprint jumping is definitely the way to go. That's like 16 blocks. Let's try that. So I think you might be able to actually just jump this. Okay, no. Kinda close. Ooh, that might work. Ooh, that was close. Okay, we'll just add 2 more. Ooh, okay. Ooh. That's 11 blocks. 11 blocks is, I think, the maximum. I know Lunge also does more damage. So if you were just running, about 4 hits, you're running with Lunge. Maybe it's not a ton more. Yeah, that was 4 hits. Okay, so I'm not sure how much extra damage Lunge does. Let's see how Lunge works against something like a creeper. Definitely had a lot of knockback, but did not take that much damage. Very interesting. Alright, so I heard you can use the spear as a TNT cannon, so I'm gonna try that real quick. Light the TNT. Whoa. I have a knockback 2 spear right here. I want to see how much farther it goes, or if it's similar. Whoa! That is a lot farther. The spear is definitely a good idea as a TNT cannon. Wow. Okay, I just built this little blue ice highway, and so I'm going to try using the ice boat spear. I'm going to put a creeper here. I think it should still work. Okay. I wouldn't think I would need to be in survival, but we can try it. Nope. I'm not putting the spear up. I see what's happening. Okay. Okay, that's a 1 hit. I want to see against like an iron golem or something that has slightly more damage. Oh, he's coming, he's coming. As you can see, like, cause there's like some broken marks, it did do some damage, but I don't know. I'm gonna be honest, I'm starting to think the mace is better. Okay, I have a warden spawning right here. Let's try to Elytra spear. Wait, where'd he go? I don't see him. Where did he go? I don't see him. Oh, there he is. practice on this. That ended a lot quicker than I thought. Alright, let's try again. I forget how weak you are with an Elytra. Okay, let's try something a little bit different. Okay, so my thinking for this next clip was that I would use a husk, because husks don't burn in the daylight and have the same amount of hearts as a player. So I'd put netherite armor on the husk. But in this clip, as you can see, I just couldn't get the armor on the husk. Can you not? No. Is this not like, I don't know why I was using a dispenser, but the armor just wasn't going on. Alright, I'm gonna try Elytra spearing an iron golem. It's kind of hard to Elytra spear. It takes a lot of precision. Oh, that was kind of clean. Okay, well, like, it's definitely, like, kind of doable, but it's pretty hard, I think, to do. One other thing I did notice about the spear is that when you right-click, it kind of blocks a couple things, or things don't work. For example, if you want to put the spear in an item frame, it just goes down. It won't let you put it inside of the item frame. You also can't break any blocks while holding the spear like you can with a sword. When you right-click on anything like a dispenser or a lever, it goes down. Same thing with getting in the boat. It doesn't really matter, but it's kind of weird. And lastly, if you have a shield, you can't right-click. You can't block with the shield unless you swap to another slot, because the spear just goes down. Alright, after testing the spear and the mace, I've come to the conclusion. Is the spear or the mace better? Definitely the mace. I would definitely pick the mace. The mace, first of all, cancels all of your fall damage, and so I think that's better than the spear. I know you have to time your attack with the mace, where the spear, you can just kind of like hold down right click, but I feel like the spear sometimes doesn't hit, where the mace, you know when you hit because it just kind of works. I feel like the mace does more damage. Spears at higher tiers do a lot of damage, but I feel like the mace just overall you can do a lot more damage a lot easier, especially with wind charges. And overall I would just prefer to use the mace, but I would like to know what you guys think down in the comments. So let me know if you would prefer the mace or the spear, and also click one of the videos that's on your screen right now. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Boom, 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 boom.